Welcome to KP Law News Florida. Got a news story, brand new news story. Just came out this morning. Another JSO officer involved shooting this morning. And here we'll give you the sheriff and the chief giving a brief about the shooting. So here we go.
About after 7 o'clock this morning, officers were responded to this area for involving a mentally ill call of a mentally ill individual. And I'm going to let Chief Parker give you the details of what happened here. Chief.
Thank you, Sheriff. So good morning. So like the Sheriff said, this morning, just after 7 a.m., officers were dispatched to a mentally ill person. The call was called in by the suspect's mother in this incident. And that, like I said, it was just after 7 a.m. So as officers started arriving and more additional information was obtained, it was also learned that the suspect in this case, part of his episode, let me back up, that was in the 1500 block of East 16th Street, by the way. So as additional information came in, they learned that the suspect had attempted to light a neighbor's house on fire. So both of those people came out. I don't know if they confronted him or not, but he took off at that point. He was armed with a knife and ran away. The fire was extinguished, so nothing happened to the house. Those people are okay. But patrol continued to arrive. The information was updated to an attempted arson in addition to the mental ill episode that was going on. So one of the co-responders also deployed to the scene that was going to come try to help out, so to speak. As they set up a perimeter, because he was on foot running, they were on the perimeter for about an hour and a half. It got to a point that they were going to break the perimeter down because they couldn't locate him, and he had covered quite a bit of distance. So at that point, the co-responder was on the scene with the suspect's family back at the location where it all started. At that point, just a couple minutes later, as they're breaking the scene down, one of our canine officers observes the suspect walking down the sidewalk and makes contact with him. The description had gone out. Our suspect had been shot in another incident as a victim previously, so he had some disfigurement in his face and scarring. So the canine officer immediately identified who it was, and he got out to make contact with him. He told him, hey, he called him by name. He said, stop, or I'm going to release the dog. You'll get dog bit. The suspect took off running with the knife. So the canine officer drives down to catch up to him, and as he gets out, he comes around with the taser to engage him. And as he comes out, the suspect threatens him, pushes the knife out toward him twice, saying, get back, get back. So the officer engages, lets go of his taser, drops it in the street, and shoots him with his pistol. At that point, the suspect goes down on the sidewalk, and he just holds him with cover because he was not dead. He's waiting for additional officers to arrive so they could render medical aid. When the officers get there, they get a plan together. They go up, and he's still got the knife in his hand. So one of the officers covers his wrist with his foot, and they get the knife out of his hand, and they start to give medical aid to him at that point. The suspect did not survive the injuries, so he did not make it. I'm not going to give you the suspect's information because we still haven't done a next of kin notification, so we're still working on that. I can tell you he was a 30-year-old black male. I can release that. And our canine officer has been with us 11 years. His name is Caleb Bumgardner, and I'll spell the last name, Bumgarner. His ID number is 73993. It's his first officer-involved shooting. This is our 13th officer-involved shooting of the year. The state attorney is still on scene. They're doing their investigation. And as far as the suspect, like I said, I'm not releasing his information. He's a 30-year-old black male. As far as his criminal history, we have not located a criminal history yet. He does have a few prior Baker Acts. And with that, we can take any questions you have.
I'm not sure what that is.
The folks at the house that he attempted to put on fire?
I don't know. They're neighbors of his mother. I don't know if he lived there or not. That's all stuff they're still looking at.
So did he actually try to light the house on fire? Or he did?
Two different locations in the house.
Of that house?
Mm-hmm.
Where was that house located?
It's in the 1500 block of 16th Street.
1500 block. Okay. And then how did we end here? This is where you died.
He just ran. He ran for an hour and a half, and they had the perimeter, and they kept losing sight. They had the perimeter, they expanded, and he ended up basically 10 blocks away is where all this happened.
Was the taser actually used?
No, he had the taser as he got out, and as he got to the front of the car, he's well within that reactionary gap, and the guy confronts him and points a knife at him 2 times saying, get back, get back. That's a lethal encounter. At that point, he goes to lethal force. So he dropped his taser right in the road and went to his firearm.
Taser.
It's important to note also.
Done any help?
First, he warned because he was going to release the dog initially. Then he exited the vehicle, and was going to deploy his
Here's
taser.
the sheriff
Deploy his
cops
taser.
weighing
Then
in
when the knife
again.
enters the equation and the threat, he drops that taser and goes lethal. That's the order of how things happened.
About how long were they looking for him?
About an hour and a half.
It's about an hour and a half this morning.
Was there a helicopter involved? We just had some folks mention that they thought they saw or heard a helicopter.
I haven't confirmed that, but there's usually a helicopter if they're available and we have a perimeter. So we haven't confirmed that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
How many shots were fired?
5 shots.
And just wanted to ask about Long
5
Branch
shots?
Elementary. I know it's kind of a couple blocks away. Is there a soft lockdown or anything going on at the school?
They're not in any danger at all whatsoever. They were never in any danger.
Does JSO have I know you probably have a protocol with someone, you get a call about being mentally ill in a sense, but can you just describe, I guess, that maybe there's a fine line in terms of when there's a threat versus someone mentally ill and how to deal with that?
Sure. So we have the co-responder program you guys all know about, right? So if it's not a violent situation, we'll deploy the co-responders. We're not going to put them in a situation, the sheriff's mentioned that at the town halls that we just had, we're not going to put a citizen in a violent situation where they become a victim of something. So in this case, he was here, it was upgraded to an arson. The guy was armed with a knife, but the co-responder was back with the family. I'm assuming and I haven't talked to them, but I'm assuming they're trying to get background information, anything that'll help kind of end this peacefully, right? So at that point, that's their role. If this has not been a violent encounter, they do respond with the officers to talk to the person. But anytime there's a weapon involved, we're never going to put them in that situation.
And just to be clear, no emotion toward the officer, never actually cut the
No,
officer?
no, no, no.
And you said twice he moved him?
2 times. 2 times, and he said get back both times.
And was he using a lighter to try and start it, or was he like turning on gas on a stove, or?
No idea. You can see it in what we saw. There's evidence. I don't know how he tried to light it. So,
Whose house is this?
a neighbor.
Great, thank you, Sheriff.
All right.
Thank you.
y'all.
Well, there you have it. That's the latest briefing about the latest JSO involved shooting. Questions? He was going to let the dogs loose, changed his mind, got his taser out, changed his mind, pulled his gun, and shot the dude 5 times. I'm thinking, I'm just asking questions now. Devil's advocate. Wouldn't a canine help stop that? Wouldn't a taser put him down? We can drop the knife. But I don't know. 5 times. 3rd time, let's see, he had 3 tries to take him out and went to the lethal force. So I don't know. And the mom called on her son having a mental breakdown. Oh man, that's crazy. I don't know, a lot of questions here. Well, not a lot, but some questions here. Keep an eye on this story. Anything comes of it, I'll let you know. So let me know down in the comment section what y'all think about this situation. Was it justified or was it a little bit overboard? What do you think? I appreciate everybody watching. KP Law News Florida out.